guys, how you doing? This is Manga Section. I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece Manga chapter 907. Here we go. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the phone conversation, or the Den Mushi conversation that Big Mom was having with Kaido. So we find out within this conversation that Kaido owes Big Mom something, but other than that, they're not on good terms. Kaido's like, yeah, that was a long time ago though, and Big Mom's like, nah. It was a lifetime thing, kind of thing. But basically speaking back and forth, saying, I know you've got your problem with Straw Hat Luffy, but get me, I have to be the one to take his head. And Big Mom says, you know what, I'm coming, Wano. Kaido's like, if you come, Wano, I'm gonna kill you. So there is a possibility of a Yonko versus Yonko pirate crew fight or battle fight, and that would be lovely to see. But I'm thinking stuff on the lines of, we're definitely not gonna get it in this arc. This is for the this arc is the Reverie arc, and I believe it will focus on everything that's happening within the Reverie. Possibly we might get it in the 1-0 arc, but what I'm really thinking, I don't want it. Trust me, I do not want it. But I think if they do clash, if they do fight, it will be glossed over, unfortunately. But we find out that this is going on. They have this conversation, and we also find out that this conversation is unencrypted, meaning that the Marines know what's going on with them and the plans that they have to face. Reason why the Marines think they didn't encrypt this call is because Big Mom knows, and Kaido possibly as well, at this time, there's nothing the Marines can do to stop them. Garp mentions that all these forces that could have possibly stopped this meeting coming to place are now present at the Reverie doing bodyguard work. And I don't know who it was. I think it was just a random Marine. He mentions that the only ones present at this present moment in time that could stop this going down, that they could deploy, is Admiral, which I fairly agree with. So that would be Kizaru, because Green Bull is at the Reverie, and so is Fujitora actually, and Fujitora is not in Akainu's good books, but they're both at the Reverie. So yeah, it would have to be Akainu and Shishibukai. And now when it comes to when I saw that written down, I was like, how could you possibly think that? The only ones that I think could go toe to toe with a Yonko, and that's simply because we haven't seen them go full out, is Mihawk and Whitebeard's supposed son. And that's only simply because we haven't seen them go full out, so we don't know what they're fully capable of. But when we look at all, supposedly say we haven't seen Boat Hancock. Well, I don't think she's really that short. Excuse me. But yeah, when it comes to the top tier Shishibukai, I reckon it is going to be Mihawk and then Whitebeard's supposed son. But even then, I don't think that reaching Yonko levels of strength. I could be wrong, but that's what I think at this present moment in time. And who's the other Shishibukai that we have right now? Because Law lost his title. Buggy. Unless he went through some serious training during the time skip, he's not going to be able to take on the Yonko. You'd probably be too afraid to take on the Yonko anyway. So right now, the Marines only have Kizaru, who could put up a fight against a Yonko, and one man is not stopping two Yonko crews from meeting him up. So there is a possibility of a problem there. By no means that I think this will happen, but how awesomely overkill would it be if Kaido and Big Mom put aside their differences and actually teamed up to take out the Straw Hats. But moving on. So we had this thing with the whole empty throne that the chapter is named after, and we find out that it's basically no one sits in this throne, because to sit in this throne would be to disrespect the world, basically saying to yourself, yeah, I can rule the world. And we see Steady thinking this within the chapter, and we know that he wants to try and sit in this chair because he feels if he does it, he'll be able to rule over the world. But because I think that's what it stands for symbolically. So that made me just think that maybe one day Luffy will end up in the Holy Land and accidentally end up on the throne. I could honestly see that happening at some point. But moving on. So the next portion of the chapter is spent on the celestial dragon coming for the mermaid princess. They capture her, they're about to take her away, and basically everyone who's on good terms with Luffy is coming to mermaid princess with defense. We see Vivi, oh my gosh, what are you doing? We see Rebecca, oh my gosh, what are we doing? We see Leo and Sai actually going for attack where they are stopped by CP0, which was nice to see Kaku back. After Lucci, I would say Kaku was my favorite CP9 character. So it is nice to see him back. Still nice to see him in the fray. I don't want to see all of them back, so let's just leave it at 2. But yeah, anyway, moving on. So as this scene progressed, King Neptune got involved. Obviously, that's his child. I can understand father protective, all that. I get that. So he got involved as well. But what caught me by surprise was the fact that we actually have this celestial dragon stopped by another celestial dragon. Because up until now, if I'm remembering correctly, all the celestial dragons we have seen have the same mentality, treating people like dirt, or yeah, they're basically treating people like that. This is the first time, if I'm remembering correctly, that we've actually seen someone treat a lower life form, because they're seen as royalty, with some decency and respect. And that caught me by surprise because it made me think, okay, maybe not all celestial dragons are necessarily bad people. What also caught me off guard is that this in particular celestial dragon is related to Doflamingo because the surnames match up. However you pronounce that, sorry. Sorry. So yeah, that caught me off guard as well. And it was a nice little touch to the episode. I liked that. So moving on to talk about the last piece of the chapter, where we have the 5 elders, the ones that are above the celestial dragon. They're having a meeting with Shanks, Shanks wants there to talk about a certain pirate. Now, that is amazing because it really says a lot about Shanks' status as a pirate. Deep it. Like, we don't know, regardless if he's by himself or not, deep it. He's able to come up to the Holy Land and request a meeting with possibly the highest tier of people in the One Piece world. And there was like no qualms about it, no like security on him, and people telling him to drop the weapons. It kind of seemed like he just rolled through on the casual thing, like he could do this. Like, yeah, I want to talk to the elders. Yeah, just let me through. Yeah. And security would be like, yeah, come through, Shanks. Yeah, it's cool. Upstairs to your left, you know the way, innit? So I was like, whoa, to see him. And now the certain pirate, obviously Luffy, like, that's the first thing you could think. But is it possible it could be about someone else? I don't know. I can't think of anyone else it could be about. But yeah, I think. But this has made me think that Shanks, he knows more than we think he knows about what's going on in the One Piece world. But yeah, that's everything I've got to say about this chapter. This chapter, I do believe, deserves a 4-star rating, and I'll call it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.